Hi, I'm Divya, and today I'm here with Mila Shumilina, who is going to talk about where the evolving role of the hybrid designer, where AI is going to take us in the role of design, and kind of just what the future holds for us. So thank you so much for being here with me today.
Thank you for having me here,
Of
Divya.
course, of course. So we're just going to jump right into it. What drew you to design, and how did you get into it originally?
Yeah, I had an interesting past. My major is in public relations.
Oh, okay.
I've been working in public relations for 10 years.
Wow.
I had two kids, and public relations takes 24/7 of your time,
Mm-hmm.
like 7 days a week. That's where I thought, okay, I need to change something in my life. I
Yeah.
need to switch my profession. So I tried and learned architecture and interior design. It didn't help me to get like the flexibility I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
So I eventually moved into UX UI design, and that's where I got all my previous knowledge settled in really perfectly, like public relations, understanding people and their behaviors, architecture design, like building the foundations first and then putting the beautiful UI inside.
Yep.
So all that played up really nice.
Wow. So you are like the living representation of how UX is just such an interdisciplinary field. You have like the balance of architecture, public relations, and then now you're into UX. So that's a really amazing journey that you have. Um,
Absolutely.
how has your definition of what a designer does changed since you started?
It does changes depending on the level of your role. Like when I was junior, I had specific tasks. When I was middle, I had more elevated. And when I became senior, that's where I found like the whole complexity of the designer role and how it is important to actually understand the business context, how it is important to be a system thinker, how it is important to align cross-functional teams.
Mm-hmm.
So it does changes with the level of your role, but also it changes with the AI context, as we have seen.
Yes.
And if previously teams were working more linear, like product manager would talk to customers, identify problem, create PRD, then transfer this PRD to designer. Designer would create static mockups. Then designer would transfer their work to engineers that are trying to put everything together, like, you know.
Yep. Yeah.
Now it's not the same anymore. Design can start anywhere, like from engineering, from product, from leadership. Designers are becoming more strategic partners, like talking to customers, talking to business and the values of the features, for example, being implemented. So everything becoming more collaborative right now. That's where I see the most of the change.
Interesting. And I honestly, I just want to ask a quick follow-up. Do you feel like AI is enhancing that collaboration or detracting from it?
Oh, absolutely enhancing.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm so enthusiastic about that because it brings up like the ability for everyone to think broader, to visualize, to conceptualize. You can get an idea put into AI and a polished like interface in a few seconds.
Right.
But that is not, of course, the interface we will work with. We
Right.
still need to put like the problem into it. Is it a real problem that users need to solve?
Right.
Will it help the real world circumstances and so on? But at least like the ideation phase that is here that helps us to move faster.
Interesting. And one more thing that you'd mentioned is the different roles across like engineering, the product managers. Do you feel like AI is going to help people get on the same page across these fields, like get a better understanding of what the engineer is doing, what the product manager is doing? Do you feel that way?
Yeah, and we've seen that coming along like a couple years back. So product managers were already like learning into engineering to talk with them the same language.
Right.
They were learning more into design to understand how to solve problems.
Right.
And designers were also asked to know CSS.
Yes.
Right? So it's just deepening and the knowledge of what we're what we need to understand and how we need to collaborate is getting deeper and deeper.
Oh, I love that. That's great. How do you see the design role evolving in 2026?
That is exciting year for designers.
Yeah.
If previously designers were stuck in our Figma, in our ideas, and we could never build the products ourselves,
Right.
we did require engineering teams and months, if not more, to get our idea into reality. Now everything is possible. Designers can now solve real problems, ideate, and build products. They can show their work. They're
Wow.
becoming more like founders and builders
Yeah.
of their lives.
Is there any worry that while they are expanding their own skill set, it might, because a lot of it is attributed to the use of AI, like they're not actually building those skills on their own, like because a lot of it is being outsourced? What are your thoughts on that?
Lots of outsourced, and if you still do not have a good design eye, if you still do not know user behavior patterns or mental models, if you don't know like simple principles of typography, hierarchy, layout, the outputs from your AI will be so generic.
Yes, absolutely.
So you do need strong skills. And on top of that, you need to be an innovator to come up with interesting solutions and not to be as everyone else.
Yeah, because AI can only replicate what you give it, right? You have to prompt it first, and if you don't already have that working skill set, then your output is going to reflect that. So I think that's a really valuable insight.
Yeah, and what you're saying about prompting, that is another skill that's very important, and not only for designers, but for everyone right now.
Absolutely.
If you're putting a weak prompt, you will get a weak result. With a good prompt, you will get much better results. So that's definitely a skill that everyone needs to learn.
100%. Yeah, I think that makes complete sense. So which of these expanded responsibilities, such as facilitation, strategy, research synthesis, prototyping, came most naturally to you, and which did you have to kind of grow into?
I would say everything working alone, like in my Figma, like moving these pixels and creating prototypes or user flow structuring, that was all natural. But I did have to grow when I was talking to leadership, when I had to defend my ideas or defend my solutions, where I had to put business context in the solutions, where I had to align business needs, user needs, and engineering needs all together. That's where you need to vocalize your ideas, you need to vocalize and defend your decisions, and you need to also align all the teams into the one solution. That's what I had to learn.
Yeah, that makes complete sense. Being a generalist can mean that you're spread thin, or it can mean that you're indispensable. How do you think about that line?
We are all moving into being generalists right now, and within a couple years back, there were teams with content designer, UX designer, UI designer, brand designer, and so on and so on. But then design teams were shrinking, and product designer would do everything that couple of other roles have been doing. So that already happened. And when we look at startups, they have such a title as founding designer. That is a person who can do everything I described. On top, they can design brochures, they can create websites, they can be responsible for social media, they can even talk to people and sell the product. Because when you're a founding designer in a startup, you need to do everything. So we already see that coming, and I think like that is the future. And again, like it's all about deepening our skills, and with the help of AI, we can do that.
Yes. Okay. So you're saying that becoming a generalist, if anything, does not make you it doesn't mean that you don't have enough skills. If anything, it means that you are deepening your understanding of all of these like broad scope of just skill sets. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, so generalists do have a broader range. They can be stronger in one skill or another,
Mm-hmm.
and that's where collaboration would come into place. Maybe they're not very good in social media.
Right.
That's where that can be like a small outsource or collaboration with other team members who
Mm-hmm.
can do that. Or they can do something and company is okay with the level of work they're doing. It shouldn't be like a top notch because that might be not a priority for them.
Right.
That will also depend on the company and business needs,
Right.
what kind of person they're looking for.
Okay. That makes sense. Um, what does it look like when a team doesn't have this kind of designer, and what do you think breaks down?
Uh, if a company doesn't have a generalist, I believe they might have all other kind of roles, um, and their responsibilities would break down into a couple people, and that is actually a good pattern. It is nice to have a really good person that knows visual identity. That's nice to have a very strong person for user experience, etc. Yeah, so nothing will break. That's gonna be definitely strong teams, and they will have their own place. But as I see right now, there will be less and less of them.
Okay. So you're saying that there's going to be a rise of the generalist.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. That makes sense. Would you identify as a generalist?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. Okay. Very cool.
And like I love learning. I've been into 3 majors by now, and yeah, and the design role. Once you get into design, you understand your learning will never end.
Yeah.
Every single month something pops up. There are always skills you need to deepen in. There are always something you can strengthen about yourself. So
I love that. That's great. There is a fear narrative that AI replaces designers. What's your honest take on that?
as long as we're designing for humans, it cannot replace us.
I totally agree.
That is, yeah, 100%. AI can generate fast ideas. It can help us with prototyping. It can also help designers to go from blank screen to something in a couple minutes, because as designers, we all know like the problem of a blank canvas.
Yes.
Now it helps us to accelerate something that will be stuck into hours and hours of work.
Yes.
And we can put our brain now into innovation, into better understanding of user problems, because AI cannot sit with a frustrated user and understand what they are not telling you using your platform.
Yep.
It cannot understand the sentiment, what is going on in their life, and how they would like to solve their issues, like with the current like platform, for example. Yeah, so I do believe designers, with the help of AI, will actually become so much stronger. They will finally get their voice and their seat in the table at the leadership at companies, and they will finally be heard.
Yeah, absolutely. And this goes back to the previous conversation we were having about how the output is only as good as what you input. And so you still need to have that understanding of the things that are left unsaid, like human behavior, body language, discomfort. Like these are all things that AI can't naturally understand. But if we as humans are able to really encapsulate that properly and then feed that in, then of course what AI generates back is going to be in line with what we're looking for. So it's important to look at it more as like a tool to help us rather than something that's going to replace us altogether. We're not going anywhere.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I so much agree with you.
100%. Yeah. If execution is becoming more automated, what becomes more valuable for a designer to own?
Strategy, product strategy, product vision, where we're going. We need to understand the trends well. We need to understand business really well, what business needs, to talk to the business leaders, and we do need to understand like our users. I know by still now there are so many designers that don't have access to the end users. They don't have a clear understanding how the customers are using the websites, platforms, products, but that is becoming more and more important.
Right.
And also designers are problem solvers in their nature, so they can help define the right problem to solve, because that is also issue. Are we solving the right problem, or
Right.
we are just solving something
Yeah.
that will not bring the value? So that's the skill set that designers need to concentrate on to be more strategic and to be business partners.
Yes, absolutely. Problem framing is one of our strongest assets, and that is what we bring to the table as designers. I think that a lot of people view designers as disposable, like you're just here to make things look pretty, but no, like we're here to solve problems, understand the people that you're actually trying to target, and yeah, so I think problem framing is one of the biggest things that we as designers have to own. How do you think junior designers should be thinking about entering into the field right now?
We do see it's harder for juniors to enter right now,
Right.
but on the other hand, it was still tough a couple years back when junior designers left their universities or colleges, and hiring managers were asking for real world products. And there was a gap, like, where do I get this real world product into my portfolio? I think this gap can be solved right now, because a junior designer that just finished their and graduated, right? They can understand what is the real problem we can solve around me. How can I frame it correctly? They can go through user research. They can ideate. They create the solution to that problem, even a small one, and they can already build that into code. They can publish it. They can test it with real people, and they can put it on their portfolio. That's how they can demonstrate the whole skill set they have. And that's how they can bridge from being junior to build middle, straightforward.
Right. No, that makes complete sense. Yeah, like there's no shortage of problems to solve. Like you can just find one around you and be like, okay, I'm going to design something for this. I'm going to show my entire thought process and then put that into your portfolio. And that is just as valuable as being in like an active corporation and solving for a business, you know? Can you walk us through the three emerging profiles? We kind of already touched on this: generalists, deep specialists, and hybrid builders, and who thrives where?
Yeah, as I mentioned, generalists mostly thrive in startups. That's where they take all the hats and all kind of roles.
Right.
The builders, that is interesting, and that is absolutely new profile. Builders can be people coming from product management role, from designer role, from engineer role. These are people that can understand what is the right problem to solve, how to solve it, and build a solution, or at least like have some of the code ready for the engineering to start. So that is very interesting role, and I've already seen on LinkedIn the job post on builders, product builders, yeah. And deep specialists, again, that will depend on the company level. If there is a huge corporation and they would like deep specialists for branding, for user research, for user experience, that's where these profiles will strive the most.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Is there a profile being undervalued right now that deserves more attention?
I would say research deserves more attention, because silently research has been put into product manager role and into designer role, UX designer, UI designer, and researchers are disappearing. But they do have this great sense of understanding human needs.
Right.
And they can go so much deeper, and with the results they uncover, product managers, designers, engineers can work much better. So yeah, I would say we need to have more researchers. Definitely, and they're underrated in them.
Oh, absolutely. I think every single design decision that we make, the foundation of that is the research. Like you can't just do something out of nowhere without backing it up with the research. So that's crazy that it is being undervalued, because it is if anything, it's the most important part, I would argue. Or maybe not the most important, one of the most
One of the
important.
most.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and it's so important to ask the right questions,
Yep.
and not everyone can do that.
Yes.
You can put a product manager to talk to customers or frustrated users, but will they ask the right questions to uncover the real problem?
Yes, absolutely. And also based on the user's answers, are they able to identify what's being unsaid? Again, going back to understanding body language, understanding what the user is communicating without actually verbally communicating it. And that takes a special type of skill that researchers definitely possess. What's one thing you wish more people in design leadership understood about this shift?
I wish more people right now would give designers a sandbox to test, to try, to find out how it works, to build the skill of working with AI. I've been talking to a couple people through the mentorship platform, and what I hear, like leadership wants designers to use AI in their day-to-day life. But no one gives you time just to test that, just to try with real products, because then you're like pushed into, oh, you cannot feed our real like problems or our real AI to our real designs to AI.
Yeah.
Then how will I learn?
Yeah.
What should I do? How will I get into that? So I think like the sandbox for designers is what we need to understand what are the best tools out of hundreds of current AI tools that are available, how to use them, and how will it be integrated in companies.
There's this expectation to just incorporate AI into everything, like just use AI, it's going to make it easier. But what people don't realize is that every tool that you use requires practice. No matter what you're doing, you need to be able to practice. You need to be able to figure out which one is the best one to use, if it's actually going to yield the outcome that they want to see. Otherwise, it actually might hinder the process. It might take longer because I'm trying to figure out this tool, but it's not doing what I'm telling it to do. So there might be a better one out there, but you have to give me time. So I think the concept of a sandbox, I think, is just, it's so important for all designers to have, especially in this evolving space. We're all figuring this out together. We're all going through this shift together. So give us some time, Absolutely. What skills should designers be focusing on to stay relevant today?
Definitely AI prototyping, AI ideating, and understanding not the code itself, but how can you take the designs through MCP, for example, and put that into code that will help you to build platforms. Also, it's so easy right now to help engineers to work on animations. There are so many tools like for 21st Dev, that you can connect to Cloud Code, and you can select animations you want and just copy that animation code and share with your engineering team, so they don't have to engineer it from zero.
Wow.
They just take the code and use it with the correct pattern that you want to see, like on the website or on the platform. So that's where we can definitely be more productive and can help each other.
Wow, yeah, absolutely. Again, that goes back to being able to connect with people from other teams and make their lives easier, because that's what this whole tool is for. It's to make our lives easier. Do you have a specific tool that you like favor over others in terms of AI?
I'm still trying myself different tools. I've been trying Google Stitch recently. I do love it. It creates interesting ideas. Then I did try V0. I've built an application there, a research synthesis tool for my company.
Very cool.
And I was using Base 44, where I've built another application.
Wow.
So yeah, these are all interesting. And then it's now so fun to take Google Stitch for ideation. Then through MCP Anti-Gravity, you can connect to Cloud Code with all the animations and take that code and paste into V0, and you have a built website or a part of applications for you. So everything, like I would say, even blurs like the responsibilities, and everything becomes more accessible for you. But again, like we need the sandbox to test, to try, to
Yes.
share with public, to get the feedback.
Yeah. How long would you say that process took you to, you just demonstrated like the whole, from like prototyping all the way to the final application, how long did that process take you using AI?
If we talk about the research synthesis tool, so that was actually an interesting example. I was asked to go through the admin platform with our users and understand like where we are failing, where we need to support our internal people first, what we can do better. And after this research, I was thinking, okay, how do I present that? I don't want it to go through the static information and slides, something like old-fashioned. What if I build a tool where I can help others to also go with the research synthesis, the whole team? So in this application, you can take all the interviews you've got, push that into the app, and it categorizes by the common patterns.
Wow.
How many people have been talking about this issue. Then on top of that, I've built prioritization metrics where it gets like insights into the features and puts into priorities. And then this prioritization matrix is actually available like to also, how to say it, I'm sorry, I forgot the word.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay.
Oh, okay. It's interactive.
Oh, okay.
So I could share that with everyone on the team and with the leadership, and we could work on the prioritization like online, everyone, because that was interactive. And on top of that, we could push the features into the board. It creates ticket for us.
Wow.
Because it already has all the information. You just need to click button, create a ticket, and then you can also see which tickets we have worked on, which features we have worked on, or what is left for us to work to finalize this research.
Oh my God. So you just automated months of manual work, like labor, like that.
And that was in a week.
In a week.
And that was in a week.
Oh my God. Wow. That's
and that can
that's
be reusable.
Oh my God.
What is more important? That can be reusable.
I would love to see this. I would love to see it if possible. But that's crazy. That's insane. And again, that just goes to show how powerful these tools can be. And again, making our lives easier. You're not taking out the humanness of it. You're just saying, hey, this is how we can make our lives easier, make this faster, and get more done in the process. But no one's replacing us, and that's amazing. I'm mind blown.
We can align better.
Yep.
We can talk about the same thing, and which more important, everything is interactive.
Yes.
That's what we are craving for.
Yes, absolutely. What project are you currently working on?
Yeah, so that's a very interesting project. So just yesterday, we had an event at ADP Decoding Design Hiring.
Okay.
And when I was working on getting that event together, I deeply understood how difficult it is, like mentally, to get into this phase. Okay, I'm searching for a job. I need to stay on top of everything I'm doing. I need to stop all the companies I've been contacted, all the interviews and everything. And how do I actually monitor the progress and keep track of everything? Back when I was looking for a job, I had a spreadsheet for that. I was asking a few people, what are you using? They've been also using spreadsheets. Then I went into internet and found really dull applications that made me feel like sick of job hunting and looking for a job.
Yes.
And that's where I was thinking, okay, I'm a designer, I'm an innovator, I'm a visionary, and now I have AI tools. What if it helped me build something more meaningful, something that people would actually want to look into, and that would help them mentally and morally, like get into this job search. So with the help of Stitch, I've built an application, and it is absolutely innovative. So it starts as onboarding you as an agent,
Okay.
and you have a project to do, like a task. You have your Intel as your resume and your portfolio. You have your skills that are flashcards that you will be using, and others like small elements. So that is gamified, like from the onboarding. And when you start looking for a job, like almost all of us are trying to do, like at 8 or 9 a.m. I'm starting, like I'm getting ready. I'm putting like my letters. I'm putting like my thought into the company I'm looking for. I'm applying. But that is gamified. And every time you come, every day you start applying, you're feeling as you're in a kind of a game, and you need to get like to the next level. If you're practicing your skills, that is also like gamified, or you're at 100% for this one, let's move to the next one. So that is an interesting application that would help us feel better, will help us get motivated and get pushed a little bit further, and also help us build communication skills, and help us upskill anything we need. For example, if we find a right job, but we see like, oh, I'm lacking behavior patterns or understanding matter models, that will also help you to practice what is that, to learn about that, etc. So I've got all the UI almost done, and the next I want to put that into code, and yeah, we'll share with the community.
That's so cool. You've taken something that people dread doing and you've made it fun. And also people can develop their skills through it. Like you can practice, you said, understanding what a mental model is, and different behavioral frameworks. That's such a valuable tool. And honestly, in this day and age, I think that's necessary. Our attention spans are lower than they once were. So we need some kind of interactive and fun way of doing things that are necessary. Like job hunting is necessary, but now you've made it fun and you've gamified that, and that is wow. Do you have an idea of like when that's going to be released, or you're still in the process?
I'm in the process.
Okay.
As that is my side project.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. That's very fair. Well, I'm excited to see it whenever it does come out. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Okay, last question. If you had to leave listeners with one key takeaway about the future of design in the age of AI, what would that be?
I would say be enthusiastic about AI. Be enthusiastic about the design. Remember who you are. Remember why you got into design. What was your passion that led you to it? And be authentic yourself. We all human beings. We all are different, and that is normal. You don't need to fit into a box.
Yes.
You're individual, but definitely keep upscaling yourself every single day. Because design is about learning. It was always like that. It will always be like that. No matter of what coming along our way, we still need to learn. We still need to upskill. We still need to practice. Do learn prompt engineering. That will help a lot. Do try and test different tools. What will work for you? Try, build it, and definitely share with public to get feedback, refine, do all this process. Like keep being a designer.
Yes,
in your
absolutely. Never abandon the growth mindset. That's honestly, that's such a valuable takeaway. Well, thank you so much for speaking with me today. This was an amazing conversation, and I'm so grateful to have heard your perspective. And yeah, thank you for sitting with me.
Thank you so much. That was my pleasure. It was such an interesting conversation, and I hope all the designers will be inspired after that.
Absolutely, they will. Thank you.